Hey guys, how you doing? It's Hayes. Hayes Mobile Auto Repair in Jackson, Mississippi. We got working on a 2013 Ford Explorer today. The customer battery died one day, so she replaced an alternator, and then she called me out. Then I put another alternator on her for her because she swapped it out. But the charging light was on in the vehicle. Check charging system and the little battery light was on. I'm not going to go, I made like a 53-minute video yesterday. I'm not going to post that. It's just too long, and you know, I don't want you to hear me cussing. So, I'm going to show you what I did, and I'm going to show you the quickest way to test this charging system. I'm educated on this thing now. So let's get to it. I'm going to show you first off. I want to tell you first off that 2 brand new alternators were installed on this thing. So I'm ruling out alternator altogether. 1 out of the 2 is going to be good, I'm thinking. So here is the plug, the regulator plug for the alternator, okay? You got 3 plugs on it, 3 little pins on it, or where the pins go. One of these, let me get in the camera view. Alright, one of those is going to be voltage. The other 2 are communication lines which run directly to the computer. Let's say this is power line, and these are communication for the computer, so the computer can take control of the alternator. This is a smart charging system on this. Okay? That's important to know right now. So you're going to be checking for voltage. Let me bring you over here. Instead, let me do it this way. I'm going to try to make this quick for y'all. It took me a lot of time, a lot of hours trying to find a problem that wasn't there. Checking, you know, the wire loom. I shook this wire one time, and the readings on my scan tool would change, so I'm looking in the harness and I'm dug it back, and I even pulled out the computer, which is underneath the cowl back here, and tapped into the wires. I'll show you a little clip later on in the video. This is my alternator plug right here. This alternator will charge with the voltage regulator unplugged on this. It'll go into a default mode. Okay? One of these are going to be hot. The tools you're going to need a test light or a multimeter. I prefer a multimeter. And you're going to check to make sure you got voltage at least on one of them. Alright? And the other ones aren't going to say anything with the test light. If you use the multimeter, you probably would get like 13 volts out of there. It's like a ghost voltage. I don't know what you call that, but it's a voltage that the computer is sending out, and that's going to be on the Gen Mon line, the monitor line. It'll send out voltage. Well, actually, it's a modulating pulse, so it'll be pulsing. There'll be a signal in that line, but I wasn't getting a signal on that line. So let me, I got it tapped to my Mon line right now. Alright, I got my little pin pinched onto the purple wire, the Gen Mon wire. Alright, so I'm going to put my power probe on the other end of that, and I should be getting a pulse out of that wire. And there it is. Alright, so it is modulating. Both of those wires should be modulating. The Gen Com and the Gen Mon should be monitoring if it's a good charging system. Let's get inside the vehicle. We'll turn the key, we'll start up the vehicle, and let me show you what's going on inside the dash. Again, the battery is charging, the alternator is charging. I just have that warning light on, is what we're trying to figure out. Those are the codes I got. Mainly 620s and 65B. PO65B and P0626. All right, we'll get down and dirty. Let's figure this system out kind of job. So it's taken me some time to do this already, but it's a learning process. So let's get to it. Just like works. We should have voltage on both sides. There's one. There's two. Okay, so our fusible links is not the problem. So let's move on. Not getting any errors. So let me reconnect it as it was, and let's do it before and after. That's where I'm at. Sorry, this is going to be a crazy video. I'm just trying to learn this smart alternator system, and it's going to pay off in the future. I'm going to take a hit for it on this one, since I'm spending so much time on it. I'm going to take a hit on it, but the next time I have a Ford smart charging system, I'm not going to be, it's going to be quick. So, and that's the whole purpose of it. Just get your education on, and you can make money in the future. That high air right there is really irritating the crap out of me. And I have no frequency at all. I should get some kind of number out of that frequency. That hurts. Again, my battery voltage is pretty close. Everything, but this is battery voltage. Battery voltage is 13.8 volts. So that alternator is charging. It is charging, but something is causing my light to come on inside the dash, and that's the problem that we're dealing with today. Well, I have dealt with for a couple days actually. So doing a lot of research online, reading, looking over schematics, get as much information as I can online about this. It's gotten so far that I've also replaced the PCM. It's a salvage PCM. I didn't spend a lot of money on it, but it was something that I needed to do. I was at that point. Let me just give it a shot, see if it's the PCM. It obviously didn't fix the problem, so that $100 I just spent on that PCM was in vain. Okay, so I've also went as far as clipping my Mon and my command, my gem command and gem Mon. I didn't want to do it, y'all. Trust me, it was I didn't know where else to go kind of point on this. Make sure those wires don't touch. So I snipped the wires, and then I ran wires to the alternator, directly to the alternator, because I want to eliminate any possibility of a bad wire, shaved off, touching something, so I can get that dang light off inside, okay? Did not work. All right, I'm just to show you what I've done. I snipped the generator COM and the generator monitor wire, the purple wire or the violet wire and the blue wire with a an orange stripe. If I touch my multimeter on it, I am getting a signal. I don't have a scope. I'm using my power probe. I'm seeing fluctuations, so I'm getting some kind of signal. If I touch the monitor wire, all I get is 13.2 volts. It's not fluctuating. It's a solid 13.2 volts. And that is the computer sending out, by the way. I didn't know this because I'm trying to learn this system, but this is battery voltage. And see, I got 13.2 volts without it connected to my alternator. This is the monitor wire. 13 volts, 13.2. It's a modulating. It's not modulating. I'm going to have to do some study on that. I don't know what I'm supposed to get. I thought that when I was listening to another YouTube video that the MON information is supposed to come from the computer up to the alternator to here. But the computer is sending out 13 volts. This is the salvage computer. The new computer did the same thing, so I'm pretty sure that's what it's supposed to do. 13.2. I have no frequency. So I chased my tail for a long time, but I'm right back to an alternator. I ordered another alternator, and we're going to install it. It's going to be in a part from O'Reilly's. It had 2 Napa alternators on it now. I'm going to put an O'Reilly's alternator on it. If it doesn't fix it, I'm going to the dealer and getting a new one. I'm going to end up double working myself, but you know, I'm learning a lot of stuff on this one, and I'm going to share with you what I've done and how I chased my tail, because I don't want you to chase your tail. So we're going to make it as understandable and easy to understand as possible, at least. Generator monitor frequency, and I have 0. Okay, I've always had 0. So let's see if we can get that to register something when I put this new alternator on there. I have no frequency still. I'm putting a new generator on it. It's going to be a generator problem we're having. A multimeter would be fine. A test light would be helpful. Power probe. You know, either one of those would be nice. At least a multimeter, and you can buy multimeters fairly cheap at Walmart for like 15 bucks. Harbor Freight. Okay, and that's it. All right, and that's it. That's the end of that. We finally got this one going. I hope that was helpful. You need 2 pulse wires on the generator. You need 1 12-volt lead coming from fuse 58 on the fuse box, F58. A battery sensor or the generator current sensor will not cause your, at least it didn't on this one, will not cause your check charging system light and your battery light to come on. It's going to be all part of the alternator and the wiring to the ECM. Is what I've learned. So again, 12 volts, 2 pulsing wires. If one of them ain't pulsing, check that wire, and go all the way to the ECM with it. Oh, and the last thing I want to show you that I am getting frequency now. 125 hertz, 125.2, no errors. All right, guys, and that's a wrap. Peace out. That's it. If it's charging, just because you unplug the voltage regulator and it's charging the battery, does not mean you have a good alternator. Your alternator can be charging like this one was and still have a bad alternator, meaning that your charging light's going to come on and the battery light, just like this one. Charging alternator, but the light still came on inside. Had a bad alternator, bought another one from O'Reilly's. After 2 Napa alternators, the O'Reilly's alternator didn't work for me, and I am getting some pulsing and I'm getting monitor frequency coming out of there. That's it. Hayes Mobile Auto Repair. Hope it's helped. Like or subscribe, please. Peace.